Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another Minecraft video. So this is a little different. This is on PC Minecraft, not Windows 10 or Pocket Edition for a change. Thought I'd do something different because I've been building some single player things on PC. So as you can see, we've got a couple Star Wars ships in this world. We've got over here, we've got a YT-2400, which is similar to the Millennium Falcon. You may know this as the Outrider, which is Dash Rendar's ship from Star Wars Legends. This is not actually his ship, but it's the same type of ship, and yeah. So I think I'll start this video just showing off some of the ships in this world. We've got this ship, which I just showed. We've got the Ghost from Star Wars Rebels. We've got the Falcon, which is partially built right here. And we've got a blockade runner, Rebel blockade runner, CR90, I think something like that. Right here, which I'm in the process of building, full scale. So yeah, let's start off with the YT-2400 and just show off the interior of that. And then we'll just go on from there. So, if we look down here, we've got the airlock, which is right here. Or one of the airlocks. So, as we go in, we've got another airlock here, so this little area is just kind of an airlock system. Then we're standing on the boarding ramp, which is retracted right now. And then these are the main corridors of the ship. So if we go this way, we've got the cockpit, which you can see we've got the cockpit up this little ramp right here. Pretty spacious, like the look of it. And if we go back down here and toward here, we've got a small little door in the floor. That's for like exiting the ship if the whole cockpit module decides to, or if they jettison the entire cockpit, that's how they would exit the ship. And then back here we've got an escape pod. So that's about it for that part of the ship. And then if we go back through here, we've got a small bathroom right here. Excuse me. Got the cargo hold. Here is a kind of a fragile cargo area. This is for like keeping specialized cargo. And then if we go through this short hallway, we've got the freight loading room in the front of the ship right here. And I'll go back through here. If we continue to go back the way we came, we saw this on the way in. Here's the quad laser turrets. We've got the dorsal one up here, which is the main gun. And then we've got the bottom one down here, which is the other gun. And they're just in these little specialized kind of cockpit type things that just control the guns. You see them on the Millennium Falcon in A New Hope and Force Awakens. Here we've got the crew quarters, which have some glitched out beds, but you get the idea. Then we've got another one right here. This is a small little, I don't know what to call it, just a little bay right there for doing maintenance and stuff. Here we have the way to get into the forward freight room, which I showed before. It's basically the interior of the Millennium Falcon. It's not too different. I mean, this corridor's in a different place. It's usually here, but it's mostly the same as the Falcon. Through here, we've got a rear cargo bay here, and then this is the escape pod chamber. I didn't put an escape pod in here because it's a weird angle. It's diagonal, so I just haven't put it in yet, but I'll figure out how to do that sometime soon. Here we have another cargo bay. As you can see, this is a cargo heavy ship. So yeah, this is like the main cargo bay. It's got a big kind of cargo door that opens up and you can load cargo into the ship. There's a top hatch right here. And then if we keep going through the corridor, you can see we've got the engine room right here, which kind of pretty basic. It just got some big pipes that lead to the thrusters in the back, and then here's the hyperdrive. And then to the right of this, we've got another rear cargo bay, cargo hold, I guess. And that's it for the ship. I mean, it's a pretty small ship. It's like the Millennium Falcon. It's just pretty light and not too complicated. So yeah, and then we've got the landed version down here, which I used World Edit to copy that down and add some landing gear to it and put the ramp in. So, yep, that's that. You can see we've got the ramp that leads or just kind of angles up to the center of the ship, right there. And then the landing gear back here and in the front. So yeah, that's that ship. And then Also, this is kind of the main attraction of this video, it's probably what the title's going to end up being. You guys already know that though, because you see the title right now. This is the Ghost from Star Wars Rebels. This is kind of the main, or it is the main ship of that series. It's kind of their Millennium Falcon. It's a VCX 100, I think it's called. And it's a pretty cool ship. It's one of my favorite Star Wars ships. It's pretty big. It's got a lot of crew capacity and cargo holds and stuff. The reason there are 4 of them is because this is the Season 1 variant. There are some minor differences between Season 1 and then the rest of the series. So yeah, Season 1, it's got these kind of big wedge-shaped pieces up front, and you can see they go from the front and angle all the way down to the bottom. But Season 2 and onward, they angle down, but then they kind of get cut off. And they have just kind of a spacious kind of void right there that it kind of gets cut off and doesn't continue. And it looks pretty cool. I like this one much better than the Season 1 version. So when we take the tour, which we'll do in a second, I'll go through that one and instead of that one, because the interiors are exactly the same, more or less. There's also some cut off pieces down here. You can see there it's more full and not cut off the way this one is. The other major difference, and if you don't want to know this because you haven't seen the series, this is a spoiler warning. It's been out for months, so if you haven't seen it, then I doubt you'll see it at this point. But if you don't want to know this, just skip ahead a few minutes and that'll be it. So, alright, so spoiler starting now. So the Phantom, which is the kind of little craft that comes off the back, was destroyed in an episode, and then they replaced it with this Separatist shuttle. And yeah, that's what that is. So in Season 1, it looks like this right here. It's just smaller and more compact. And in Season 2, it's got a big fin on the top, the way the Separatist shuttles usually do. So, yeah, spoilers ended now, so that's it. So if we go down here, we've got the entry ramp, which leads into the main cargo bay. You can see here, there's a big kind of cargo bay entry door in the bottom of the, or on the floor right here. If we go in the back here, we've got a small little junction that leads to all the different parts of this lower deck. So here we have another ramp that is for cargo loading. And in the back we've got the engine room, which has never been seen in the show. You've never seen the engine room in the show as of yet. So I have not built it yet because until we see it in the show, which we won't since the Season 4 will be the last season, I'm just going to either make something up or trying to replicate what we see in the show, if we see the engine room in the show. So that's that. Go back down here. Oh yeah, on this side, the internal has kind of some moving parts, like the interior. So there's this internal ramp that kind of split between the 2 levels, so sometimes it's angled upwards so you can get up there, and sometimes it's angled downward so you can get down here. So this side's in the downward position, and this side is in the upward position, which I will show really quick. Yeah, so you can see here's the upward position, and on the other side you can see it was angled downward so you can get into the cargo hold. So yeah, we'll continue the tour of the ship by going the way we came. So yeah, main cargo hold has a ladder up front, which leads to a small balcony for overlooking the cargo bay, and it also has a short corridor for leading to the nose gun. So yeah, this is the forward gun of the ship. It's kind of the main gun, and it's kind of a swivel chair that turns the guns that you can see right there and right there. So yeah, it's a pretty cool design. If you look, you can see the cockpit up there. And if we continue up the ladder, we've got the main cockpit, or only cockpit, and it's got 4 seats. It's kind of a double layer cockpit because you can see there's the gun that we were just in down there. And then in the back, it's just got some more seats and just some computer consoles and stuff. So, if we continue to the cockpit, we've got the main deck of the ship. This is the crew quarters, or these are the crew quarters, which you see a lot in the show. Yeah, there's 4 of them on either, or 2 on each side of this hallway. And then if we continue on, we've got another junction on this deck, which has, basically the way the ship is laid out is each deck is kind of shaped like a T or like a cross. So in the middle of the cross, there's like a ladder that goes through the entire ship, and then it has like doors that branch out to each part of the ship. So that's what this is, and you can see on this side, again, we've got the airlocks with the ramps that I showed you before, and same on that side. In the back, we've got the main common room, which has a Dejark table, and it's got a couch, another chair right there. We've got a small storage compartment right here. Got a computer system right here. And in the back, we've got the galley, also known as the kitchen, which just has a small table and just some counters and stuff, so that's that. If we go up this ladder, which I showed a second ago, this leads to the topmost deck, which has another corridor, which is exactly the same as the one behind the bridge, or cockpit, I guess. And this just has some storage compartments on either side, just some little mini cargo bays. And then in the back, it leads to where the Phantom is docked, but when the Phantom isn't docked, it just kind of leaves a big void right here, so as you can see down here, there's nothing there, but up here, we've got the Phantom right there, so I'll show the interior of the Phantom on this one, just real quick. To go through this top hatch right here. You can just go into here, and here's the Phantom. So yeah, it's pretty simple, just a pilot seat, just some passenger seating, and a ladder that leads to the rest of the ship. So yeah, I'll go down and show the rest of the ship on the landed variant. And if we go back down here, there's the ladder that leads to the rest of the ship, which I will show in a minute. So yeah, as I said, we've got the ladder that leads to here. These doors don't lead anywhere. You see them in the show, but they don't actually show what's behind these doors, so I just haven't put anything yet. Until we see what is there, I am not going to add it. And then if we go to the very top of the ladder, we've got the top dorsal turret, which is a big rotating glass dome that has some guns attached, so. And then if we go, again, over here, we've got this ladder, which leads down into the common room. Yeah, that's a common misconception, so people think that the ladder that is in the Phantom is the same as this ladder, but logistically that doesn't work with the layout of the ship, so there has to be two ladders, so. This ladder leads up into the little cockpit, or not cockpit, little airlock, then that leads into the Phantom, so. Yep, that's that. And I think that's about it for the interior of the ship. There's nothing else really to show. Yeah, so it's a pretty cool ship, as I said. It's probably one of my favorite Star Wars ships. I think it probably goes Millennium Falcon, then Slave One, then this. Over here we've got just kind of a cross-section of the ship, just to show the layout. This is actually out of date because this was the original ship, but I actually made some changes to it for those, so. Yeah, this is just this doesn't really matter. That's just a plan that I had. But, yeah, so you can see that's how it looks like in flight mode, and that's how it looks like when it's landed. It looks pretty cool. It's pretty bulky and pretty long and big, but it's not. It's a pretty good design in my opinion, I think so. And it's well armed too. It's got a bunch of guns. And then yeah, here is Tantive, although it's not really Tantive, it's just the same type of ship. I'm going for the larger scale because this ship has a lot of debate on what size it actually is. Some people think it's smaller, some people think it's bigger. I think there's more evidence to show that it's actually larger. But we'll just go through a quick tour of what I have done so far. So, this is the corridor that, if this were Tantive, this is the corridor that Vader and the troops would have entered at the very beginning scene of A New Hope. They enter and then they go down this angled corridor. This is the boarding elevator, which has a big elevator that extends out the bottom. Excuse me. We go back up here. We've got a pretty long corridor that goes all the way to the bridge. So we've got a small junction that leads to these service corridors, which is how you access the escape pods and stuff. I put some signs that kind of point to what kind of scenes appear in this part of the ship. So for instance, this is where R2-D2 receives the plans from Princess Leia, and which is at the end of this long corridor. Then we've got, up here we've got, where are we? Truthfully, I haven't been in this ship in a while, so I'm kind of forgetting where everything is, but here is the room that Darth Vader kills Captain Antilles in. And if we continue on, we've got the bridge, which is in Rogue One, where Princess Leia says the word hope. And I think the ship has 7 decks in total or my version of it does at least. The lower deck has the hangar bay and some cargo area. Then the deck above that is just going to have crew quarters, then the main deck, which you see in the movies, and then just some more crew quarters, and the gunner was going to be up here. So, yeah, that's about it. It's just basically a ship with a whole bunch of corridors in it, because that's all you see in the movie, and I pretty much took an hour to, like, study the film footage to make the corridors as matched up to the footage as I could. And I think I did a pretty good job, so if you look at, like, any given scene, you can basically find wherever that scene takes place in this ship, so pretty proud of having done that, because it works really well, and it looks pretty cool, so not to pat myself on the back, but anyway, that's about it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed something new. I haven't really done very many Star Wars ships, except for the Millennium Falcon that one time, but, yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video, and thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.